Hey everyone, I'm Mark Sievers and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in the summer, as you know, there are an abundance of zucchini everywhere. If you have a garden at home, you probably already know that. They're also everywhere in farmers markets, farm stands, and I thought I would create a little hors d'oeuvre to serve at a cocktail party that gives zucchini a little bit of a gold star, if you will. My zucchini and goat cheese rouleaux. Rouleaux is a French word for roll. So I'm going to show you how to take the very unassuming little zucchini and give it a little French twist, no pun intended. So here I have 1 pound of zucchini, and they're not big giant ones. They're about medium size, I'd say. And I have a little colander set over a bowl, or you can use just a dinner plate. And what I want to do is take the zucchini and just trim the ends just like this. And then take a vegetable peeler. And I want to hold the zucchini in my hand and just use light pressure and just peel away the first few peels. These are a little small to become our little rolls here, but this one is perfect. So I'm just gonna keep peeling until I reach the seeds. We want these to be, see how beautiful this is? And I'm just using a regular vegetable peeler. And it takes a little bit of time, but as you get deeper and deeper into the zucchini, you'll see these are beautiful, perfectly straight little strips. This is also a great way to make zucchini noodles if you are not wanting to eat pasta. So as you can see, I'm getting right down to the seeds here. These seeds are in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the zucchini and just do the exact same, get the strips started, and do the exact same thing down the other end. And then when I hit that end, or when I hit those seeds on this side, I'm going to rotate it again, and I'll rotate it again and do the same process. And you just do it till you get all 4 sides of the zucchini. See, last one right here. Until you basically have just a perfect, it's going to be a little roll of seeds almost. And you'll do that to all of the zucchinis. But we're just going to make a few just to show you. So the reason I have a colander is I want to give the zucchini a little salt. And what that's going to do is that's going to help kind of draw out all that excess water. All that excess water will really make these little zucchini and goat cheese rouleaux a little too watery and not as velvety and not have the most luxurious texture that we can get from zucchini. So here I would do all 1 pound of the zucchinis and then put about a teaspoon of salt in. And it's really just about sprinkling over a little bit of salt, just like that, giving them a toss, and then I'm just going to let them sit for about 30 minutes, tossing them a couple times during that. And in the meantime, we're going to get our goat cheese mixture prepared. So I chose goat cheese for this because I thought goat cheese would be the perfect kind of tangy cheese to stand up to some really bold flavors. And what I love about this particular base, it's about 4 ounces of goat cheese at room temperature, is today I'm going to use oregano and some honey and black pepper and pistachios, but it's also wonderful to use some basil, some pine nuts, sun-dried tomatoes. So you'll see that you can really kind of create your own beautiful filling with so many different variations with just using the same measurements. So let's put in our pistachios first. So I always store my pistachios and all nuts actually in little deli containers in the refrigerator. It helps them from going rancid, never a good thing, and it keeps them nice and fresh. So I need about 3 tablespoons of pistachios. And I'm going to give these a little chop. So I'm giving them kind of a rough chop, rough to fine chop. I know that's kind of a weird saying, but you want to make sure that the pistachios, or whatever nut you're using, is small enough to be able to be piped through the piping bag. More about that in a minute. But also large enough so that you still get a nice crunch. So it's not going to be perfect, but you're certainly not going to chop each individual nut by themselves. So it's about 3 tablespoons. Put those right in. And then the oregano. So these flavors of the parsley and oregano and honey are actually based off of a tartine that my friends who own a bakery, Hendrick's Belgian Bread Center in Chicago, make as a tartine. So I kind of got inspiration from them for this. So I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons of dried oregano. And you'll see what I'm doing is I'm just about measuring it out in the palm of my hand. And then I'm rubbing it between my 2 hands. And what that's doing is that's releasing all of those beautiful essential oils that are still left in the dried oregano and really gonna help kind of bring out all those flavors. So next we need some honey, about 2 teaspoons. Honey is just gonna kind of sweeten the goat cheese a little bit and also thin it out a little bit so it's a little bit more spreadable. Some pepper, about 1/2 teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper. All these measurements, including all the instructions, are at marcsievers.com. So just sit back and relax and enjoy. And then a little bit of salt, about 1/2 teaspoon. So remember, we've already salted the zucchinis, so those will also help with that flavor and also add a little bit of salt there too. So we don't want to over salt this. And now we're just going to blend this up together. It smells so delicious. Big flavors in this little bowl, but really delicious because zucchini doesn't have all that much flavor. We're just kind of using the zucchini as kind of a little vessel, little vehicle to get all of this gorgeous mixture into our tummies. So, and that's about it. So I'll set this aside and we'll let those go for another 25 minutes or so. I'll see you back right here. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes and the zucchini are nicely tender and a lot of that excess moisture has really been drained through. You'll notice at home when you lift up your colander, you'll really see quite a lot of moisture. So from here, what we have to do now is dry these off, and this will help take any excess salt off as well. So I'm just taking a few slices here and putting them onto the paper towel. And I don't press too hard. I just kind of get as much of that moisture off as possible. And, you know, I should tell you, don't throw away that inner core of the zucchini. While it's not great for this particular recipe, you can easily dice that up and put it into a stir fry or a summer pasta. You can even use it as a little vegetable inside of pasta with my store-bought marinara sauce revamped. So I'll link that video right here as well. So, of course you do this for all of the strips, but I'm just giving you a little preview. So next, I have a piping bag. Don't freak out. I promise you this is really simple. If you don't have a piping bag, you can just use a plain old Ziploc bag. But this is really the most convenient way and simplest way of getting the goat cheese onto these zucchini strips. So stay with me. So I'm just taking the bag and I'm just cutting the tip off. And the tip has to be big enough and cut large enough so that the pistachios pass through it. We don't want to get all clogged up there. And I have to admit something to you. I am the world's worst cake decorator. I'm not good at cake decorating. So if I can do this, you can do this, I promise you. So I've just kind of folded down the top, just like this. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of my zucchini mixture, or goat cheese mixture, and just use a spoon and then just put it right down the center of the bag, and then just use my fingers, and voila, you've got zucchini, goat cheese in a piping bag. So now it's all about getting it nice and kind of together and down to the bottom. And I'm just gonna keep forcing it down there. There we go. You can do this in small batches if you want. You could do smaller batches of the goat cheese mixture if you want to get comfortable. You can also do this in much larger batches. You can double and triple this recipe. But what I'm doing is just kind of twisting, because when you don't do that, sometimes when you squeeze, the goat cheese mixture comes out the top. We don't want that. We want everything to come out at the bottom. So let's get started piping. And I say piping, this is a really loose term. All I'm gonna do is take one of my zucchini strips here, take my mixture, and just give a little bit of pressure. It doesn't have to be perfect. Pipe that right down, kind of in a little zigzag. Fill in any little holes. We'll do another one. This actually goes pretty quick. I tried doing this with a knife, a palette knife, a butter knife, with the back of a spoon. And I really did find that this was the easiest way to get the most kind of uniform look, but also evenly distribute that goat cheese and not tear the zucchini. That would be bad. So I'll just do 5 with you today, and then you get the picture. You would just keep going, but here we go. See? Pretty simple. So now it's just about rolling. So I'm gonna take one end and literally roll it up. I mean, that's pretty easy. Secure it with a little toothpick, just like that. And you can put them this way, down the center of your plate. So imagine how quickly you could do a lot of those and then have a beautiful platter filled with them. But we're not done just yet. I'm gonna take a little olive oil and just drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. That's gonna add some nice flavor. Plus it looks nice. I love olive oil. And then we need a little garnish. We can add some chives, or if you have chive flowers, that would be beautiful. But I'm going back to my little store-bought little basil plant. You've seen him in a lot of videos in the past couple of months, and he's still going, he's still growing, and I'm just gonna continue using him. So I'm gonna take some little leaves off. See, when you use the new baby leaf of the basil, they're very small. It's actually micro basil. And that just looks so professional. Sometimes I surprise myself. But you can see, just by using a little bit of ingenuity, you've learned how to pipe, kind of. Pipe, loose term. And we've taken really everyday store-bought ingredients, or in this case, ingredients maybe from your garden or from the farmer's market, and turned it into something really, really special. And I just love that. So from here, you could put on a little bit of black pepper, or you could put on a little bit more of dried oregano. You don't want to put any more salt because that will continue to draw out moisture and you'll end up with a little watery mess on the plate. We don't want that. But look how gorgeous these are, you guys. And really, the hardest part was maybe learning just the technique of the pressure of the piping bag. But once you master that, you'll find it's really easy to move forward with that and take that technique and apply it to something else. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and head over to marcsievers.com for this full written recipe and many, many other no-cook summer recipes. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.